Mr. Mendoza was a consummate con artist. He could convince people to do anything for him.
Jonathan Mendoza owned and operated a mortgage company called MC Financial.
He probably opened with the intention of being legitimate to provide people with home loans back in the heyday of mortgages when banks were willing to lend to almost anybody.
At some point, Mendoza took a different path and began targeting vulnerable applicants.
He frequently took advantage of Hispanic families that didn't speak English.
He would take prospective buyers' personal information and tell them he would help them buy a home.
Buying the house under their name and submitting fraudulent documents to the banks in order to inflate the sale price of the home.
Essentially, banks would pay Mendoza more than the actual sale price for the home, and he would pocket the extra money.
The victims in this case didn't know what type of deal they were getting into, and then they were stuck with this house under their name, and the banks would go after them for foreclosure and would basically ruin their credit almost for the rest of their lives.
More than 50 mortgages and $3 million in losses were involved in this scam.
He would advertise on the radio that he could help people with mortgages, and he would find these families that needed money and didn't understand the mortgage process.
If victims tried to question Mendoza on his numbers or paperwork,
he would threaten them with either violence or turning them in for deportation purposes.
Here is some simple advice.
If a loan officer or a friend or associate comes to you and says, "We want to use your name on this loan," it's a bad deal. Don't get into it. And in fact, it's mortgage fraud. It's illegal.